I'd say I'm a bit of a renegade myself.
When you've been snowboarding as long as Rob Kingwill has, being a renegade is part of the job description. And it's the only job Rob has ever wanted or needed.
Ever since the day I found snowboarding, I really wanted to wrap my life around it.
Kinger is a never-ending ball of energy. Does whatever he needs to do to just keep enjoying the sport of snowboarding.
Rob Kingwill is a snowboarder's snowboarder and one of the sport's greatest ambassadors. Even with more than 30 World Cup halfpipe titles, 2 Legendary Banked Slalom Masters wins, and a couple of decades of ski film appearances, Kinger, as he's known in snowboarding circles, remains fully dedicated to the glide.
One of the greatest things about skiing and snowboarding is it allows you to be amongst the mountains. There's something really special from like a core human value, you know? You're like really alive up there.
Kinger spreads his stoke for riding on adventures all over the world, from New Zealand and Nepal to Greenland and Japan.
I've been a lot of places around the world, got to snowboard far off lands and see really beautiful things and ride beautiful mountains. It's really wonderful to go experience new cultures, new places to ride.
But for Rob, nowhere beats coming home to the Tetons.
I grew up here in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. My family moved here when I was 4. It's just a really special place.
After starting out as a skier, Rob discovered snowboarding at age 11.
We went down to the local ski and sports and rented some boards and took them out on the road behind my house and strapped in. And from that moment on, it was just like, this is what I want to do. That was like 1987 when I first went snowboarding. There was a lot of resorts that were close to snowboarding, and Jackson was always open to snowboarding from the beginning. It's this place where, you know, you can find yourself and push your limits to the very farthest end. I think Jackson Hole, every single time I go out, kind of fulfills that for me, that desire to get out there.
You watch him ride and you're like, yeah, that kid grew up in Jackson Hole.
Being raised on a diet of 4,000-foot descents and challenging terrain is something fellow Jackson Hole local and former high school classmate Jess McMillan can relate to.
I love riding with Kinger because he's so creative, he's so excited, and he's really good. He's just got this really strong, powerful turn, and he can throw snow around, and then he's just stoked.
When it's not dumping in Jackson, you can find Kinger in his studio where he works as an artist. He also started his own adventure accessories company called Avalon 7.
It's hard to work. I have my own business and try to balance that thing between like being a snowboarder and being serious about trying to make a living, but most of the time, snowboarding wins.
It's gonna be a big one out there.
Counted it.
Storm days are the best days. That's when the snow's the deepest, everything's fresh. You've got to learn how to really feel the mountain with your feet. Some days you can't really see too much. There's a lot of stuff to do in your life. There's a lot of work and kids and play, and sometimes you just gotta boil it down to what really matters. And to me, that's going snowboarding every day.
Words to live by, Kinger. Words to live by.